and welcome to Turning Point. The IPL season has got off at a brisk pace. Auction has changed the balance of each of the teams. The traditional ones like Chennai and Mumbai are struggling to get off the blocks. Tonight, former champion Sunrisers face super giants. Hyderabad began the season with heavy defeat against Rajasthan Royals, their bowlers taking a hammering while creating chances of no balls and their top order collapsing in a steep chase. Tonight they're up against KL Rahul-led Lucknow, who are coming off a successful chase of 211 against Chennai Super Kings, which brought them their first points as an IPL team. Now we shall talk about the match of the day, but first here's what everyone is talking about. What has happened to the traditional franchises Chennai and Mumbai? Why are they not managing to register a win this season? Let us talk about Chennai first with our experts at this hour, Sarandeep Singh, former India cricketer as well as a former selector. Rakesh Rao, the deputy editor of Hindu, will also join us on the broadcast. Sarandeep, what really has gone wrong with Chennai this season? Is it just missing Deepak Chahar and that's the big hole they are unable to fill?
Even Deepak Chahar and even they are missing Fab du Plessis also. Means a lot of their good players now. You said absolutely right that the big auction, mega auction, takes so many players away from the main teams like Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings. So that's why I think Chennai Super Kings struggling, and especially if you see their openers are not getting runs. Last season, the players who are getting hundreds, they're not scoring runs over here. So that's why I think the problem is coming with them. They're not able to put a big score on the total. Let their bowler to give an opportunity. They gave in the last game they scored 200 runs, but still their bowlers are not good at enough. They are not getting wickets from the new ball. If you don't get the wickets from the new ball, then it's very difficult, because we know in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, the wickets are really good after second innings. When the dew comes into it, then balls not even turning, not even seeming, nothing else.
That really is the biggest problem, not having a backup for Deepak Chahar. They went big for Chahar at the auction, spent 14 crore rupees, but they did not pick another quality Indian pacer.
This is what happened. You should pick some of the good fast bowlers. There are so many fast bowlers outside, but unfortunately they miss their trick to pick up the fast bowlers, especially the Rituraj Gaikwad. I'm saying also. Even bowlers was fine. Some bowlers are there not, especially the batsman. Because from last 3 games he's not even look like that he's batting at his best. The way he's batting in the last season. That's why Chennai wins the last season, because all the top orders like Fab du Plessis and Rituraj, they keep on scoring each and every game. But now this season it's not happening. So that's why they're struggling. One game I can understand they score 200 runs, but you have to keep putting score at least 170, 80 to get fight back to the ball.
Since you are a cricketer yourself, tell us a little bit about what's really gone wrong with Rituraj Gaikwad. Last season he had tons of runs. Is it the quality of wickets that are being offered to him in Chennai, which is quite different from what was in Dubai? Dubai, probably the ball was coming onto the bat. Here in Mumbai, the wickets are swinging. Is that the difference? Is that causing a difference in the players' performance?
No, I don't think so. They will be different, because Rituraj Gaikwad is playing for Maharashtra team from Pune. So he used to all these conditions. He played a lot of cricket in Mumbai, in Pune, he's playing a lot of cricket. In DY Patil, they have played a lot of matches over there. So I don't think so that's a difference. The only thing which I feel is that from the last season scored so much runs, he get in the Indian team and he's be very, very highly rated. So even sometimes that pressure comes into the mind. And see the suddenly what happens to him. The match, the day he got an opportunity to play for the Indians, got debut, he got injured. Then he was out of the scene. Then again, left-hander batsman Ishan Kishan comes into it. He scored a lot of runs. Again, that pressure. Sometimes a few things got into your mind all the time. Because now he's looking at, this is a new season. I have to again score a lot of runs to come back into the team. Otherwise, there is already Ishan Kishan over there. There are so many. KL Rahul who comes to open. Rohit Sharma is the opener. Shubman Gill is an opener. So there are 4-5 openers already into the queue. So that's why sometimes that pressure comes into your mind. So that will be shown into your batting, into your performance also.
Sarandeep, also let me ask you a little bit about Chennai's old hands. MS Dhoni, their talismanic captain, and Dwayne Bravo. They have shown shades of brilliance this season, but unable to perform that into convert that into consistent performances.
Look, Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Dwayne Bravo, they're performing from last 10 to 12 years. Means the time IPL starts, they are keep on performing. But somehow some youngsters has to take that responsibility. All the time, we're not going to sit and, okay, Dhoni comes in, he to win the match. He's winning the match from last 13 years. So you should get the new boys into the side now, because we know how long this might be his last season. He never go next season. You never know whether he's playing or not. So that's a difficulty. That's why he gives the captaincy.
There's a lot of chatter on this being the last season.
That's why he gives the captaincy to captaincy to Ravindra Jadeja, because now he's to groom Ravindra Jadeja also. From now he's looking who's going to captain for another few years, 4, 5, 6 years. Dhoni is not going to be there for all the time. So someone has to be. He come in one game he scored 50. Again he's scoring runs. But somehow other players has to take the responsibility. Not Dhoni and Drain Bravo all the time.
Let's talk a little bit about Mumbai as well. What is the big hole in the Mumbai Indians team? Is it the lack of Surya Kumar Yadav in the team? What is it?
Especially same thing happening to Mumbai Indians also. The openers are not getting run. Rohit Sharma, which the Mumbai Indians depended a lot.
Kishan did his bit.
One is scoring, one is not scoring. But Rohit Sharma is a player who can take you to the end. What if happens if both two players are scoring runs? They can put over 180, 200 runs over on the board. Once they did it, but again this other team, Delhi Capitals, they chase it easily on them. And Surya Kumar Yadav also, they are missing it. The most missing person in their team is Trent Bolt. They don't retain him. They let him go to other side. The Rajasthan Royal, the way the Rajasthan Royal is playing, with the way he's performing with her. So your match winner bowlers, because IPL is more.
You are suggesting that Bumrah is missing Bolt up front?
Definitely, because we seen Bumrah even in one of the Indian games also, even in the test matches also. Means if he don't get the support, we see him struggle a lot. Then again he come back. If Bumrah is not, you can't put pressure all the time on Bumrah, because Bumrah is only one bowler left for them to get the wickets and to retain the scores also. In 2020, it's very difficult. Either you go for the wickets, you ask Bumrah, okay, you are a main bowler, go for the wickets. Either you tell him, okay, you have to be bowled into the slots.
Also, Daniel Sims is not working for them. I also have Rakesh with me, Hindu's deputy editor. Rakesh, Mumbai Indians bought Singaporean Tim David for 8.25 crore rupees. Has it been a worthy buy for Mumbai?
Not yet, for sure. See, there are a lot of these names which you go in for, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they should start paying dividends straight away. So, yes, it's a smart buy according to them, but I haven't seen so much of him. So, and it's still very early days for me to have an opinion on him.
Let's also discuss about the match that's coming up today. Lucknow taking on Hyderabad, and Lucknow is coming off a big win. Hyderabad coming off a big loss. How can they do a turnaround against the big hitting super giants tonight, Sarandeep?
They have to be perform really well. The fast bowlers, especially Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the most experienced bowler into the bowling lineup. He need to get early wickets from the starting. If you don't get the early wickets, we know how KL Rahul, the way he batted in the last match. Quinton de Kock, he's into the good form. The middle order, Huda is scoring beautifully. New boy, Baduri, the way he plays, the maturity he shows, the way he batting, it's beautifully. The good thing is, so Lucknow, the openers are getting runs, the middle order scoring runs, and their fast bowlers, they are getting wickets for them. So that's why the way they play last match, they played beautifully. And especially if you talk about the Hyderabad, the openers are not getting run. I don't know what went wrong with this opener guy, Abhishek Sharma. I mean, he's there for 2 years. So much opportunity, he'll getting it again. He bowled for 6 CR. And look at the way the shots he's playing. I mean, if you see the other batsman is getting out, stay there, took your time and done. You're a seasoned player, you're playing Ranji Trophy, the captain of Punjab team. I know you don't have a much of the good season, but still you took some responsibility. Otherwise, if you don't score runs, then things will get difficult for you all the time.
I'm also joined by Nitish Kalia, fan of the Hyderabad team. Nitish, Holder tonight is perhaps going to line up for Lucknow. Tell us, how does a fan react to that? Because he's been quite prolific for you guys in the past few seasons.
If you ask me as a Sunrisers Hyderabad fan, so yes, it is. It's very difficult to digest that Holder is going to play against us. He's been a revelation for the team. He had been really consistent. I really hope that he doesn't perform today. Fingers are crossed. But let's hope that he has a really good IPL season, and I wish him really very best. What a fantastic player he has been.
Rakesh, spin seems to be a weak link for SRH. They have Washington Sundar as a key spinner who, according to me, is not a wicket-taking spinner but a spinner who contains the opposition.
See, he has the experience and the kind of wickets which we see here. Of course, he should be able to make a slight difference there. But then he's primarily there as an all-rounder. So for me, I've never seen him as a main wicket-taking or a main strike bowler. He is the kind of person who is expected to contribute with the bat as well. And this is not the case with someone like Ashwin. Ashwin can also bat, but then he's expected to take wickets.
Right.
But here, if you look
Is
at
it
the kind
other
of
way around? He's expected
SRH,
to score runs.
yeah, he's expected to score runs in the middle and then take a few wickets, but then here, the balance of attack, if you're talking about SRH's attack, it's primarily based on pace. And that is where I feel that if the wickets are flat, they're going to get into serious trouble because Bhuvnesh, of course, he has had a reasonable start, but I still feel that, that investing in him was more, I think, out of emotion than anything else. He's still not the same guy because we have seen the best of him. His best is firmly behind him. Yeah. So I think SRH is at a loss here.
Also, Saradeep, would you say the same thing with T. Natarajan? The investment in him is more out of emotion than form?
Definitely it will be emotion because from after Australia series when he got wickets over there, he's not playing regular cricket. Most of the time he was injured, he was not into the frame of cricket, he's not playing much of the domestic cricket also. The one thing which Rakesh Rao said is very, very right, means so we talk about Washington Sundar, but he's not of the wicket-taking bowlers also. But still, I have a question for Rakesh bhai. One question for you: that what Muralidharan is doing with Hyderabad from so many years? He's one of the greatest spinners we're having, and still from few overs, and never seen any spinner from Hyderabad. Means once you have Abhishek Sharma, but he don't bowl.
They let
him go. But Rashid Khan is not the one who you trained him. When you have the world-class bowlers like what Shane Warne did for Rajasthan, but he makes the player, he makes spinners, he tells them how to spin the ball, he makes a bowler. I think this is what we want to expect it from Muralidharan, that he has to be work with the Hyderabad team. We got some Indian spinners to do well over there.
So, Rakesh, you concur with what he's saying that Muralidharan has not managed to groom any of the talents, young Indian talents that have come through the system?
Absolutely. I mean, I certainly feel that SRH is one of those, it's one of those teams which used to boast of a very strong, sort of people who were supposed to groom the youngsters, who could have made such a difference, but it doesn't show up. I mean, we had VVS. I mean, my dear friend has been around for donkey's years there, but you don't get to see the kind of difference that he probably. No, of course, he is not there anymore. But then the fact is, his being there. I mean, he's a wonderful guy, but you don't see him, contributing, and that too, and it has to be visible at some point. I mean, being good to everybody is one part.
You mean to say,
but are you actually imparting your knowledge?
Players, grooming talents, right?
Exactly. Mentorship is not just being there. Mentorship is a lot more. It has to be seen. Like somebody like Kane, for me, Kane Williamson is a mentor. He's a top class stuff. I mean, top drawer stuff. When he is there, I expect him to play that role. With all these guys who've already played the game, I also expect them to contribute. SRH is the most understated team. Absolutely. I mean, they come quietly, they perform and they leave. They're not a flamboyant side. But when you have these guys, you expect them to be there and be seen as performers. You can't be so subdued.
They are not one of the top flying sides in the IPL, but they are former champions. So expect them to cause a few upsets this season as well. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast this evening.